Welcome to my self video. Please tell us about yourself. What are your interests and hobbies? My name is Jane Wanjohi. I'm 42 years of age, an experienced Kenyan teacher, currently teaching at Mukure Wanyagathanga. I am a holder of 2 bachelors, Bachelor of Science in Fisheries, Bachelor of Education in Science, and also a holder of a postgraduate diploma in education from Nairobi University. I have also done international English language tests with the British Council. Question number 2, are you involved in extracurricular activities that you could coach or supervise? Yes, I am. I participate and I also love athletics. Question 3, why did you decide to become a teacher for the subject for which you are applying for? The reason as to why I chose to become a teacher is the interest to see a difference in the life of children and at the same time to bring a change and a difference in the world entirely. Question number 4, are you currently employed as a teacher? Yes, I am employed and I work at Mukure Wanyagathanga. Question number 5, how many hours per day do you teach and how many days per week do you teach? For 8 hours in a day, which run from 8 a.m. in the morning and ends at 5 p.m. in the evening. I also teach for 5 days in a week, which runs from Monday up to Friday. Describe your teaching experience. What subject have you taught and at what grade level? Right? I've been teaching the 3 sciences, that is biology, chemistry and physics, which runs from Form 1, Form 2, Form 3 up to Form 4. As a matter of teaching experience, I would say I have an experience as a class teacher and at the same time I act as an assistant dean of studies. Have you ever worked in the United States? If so, where, when, and why? Sincerely, I have never been to America. Describe other work experiences you have besides teaching. I enjoy participating in community-based activities. What do you hope to do professionally in the next 5 years from now? To author a book which involves the 3 sciences, that is biology, chemistry, and physics, which will help the learners to understand the sciences better. If I were to talk to several of your colleagues, how would they describe your personality? As a hard-working teacher, dedicated teacher, and also a teacher who is always well organized. And what would your student say about you? It's very hardworking, it's always well organized, well prepared. How do you prepare to teach your lesson? Number 1, I always consider the factor of time. I consider how long has the lesson been allocated to be taught. This assists me so that I don't plan so much which I'll not be able to cover. Number 2, I always ask myself, what are the available resources? What are the objectives? Why am I attending the class? What do I want the learners to get at the end of the lesson? What are the learning activities that I will involve? With the learning activities mainly, I will either use the questions and answer method. I can at times use the discussion method, and other times I can use the independent question and answers. What would your lesson plan include? Number 1, the objective. Objective must be SMART. Meaning they must be measurable, achievable, they must be reliable of time. How long will the lesson take? Is it a single lesson or is it a double lesson? Then something else that I will also consider are the learning activities. And then I will come up with the main body. This one you have to involve all what you are going to teach. That is in form of the content. Is the assessment of the understanding by the learners. Think about a class that you have taught recently. Talk about 2 of the teaching strategies or methods that you used. Before COVID-19, I attended a chemistry class, and the second topic was more or less in the chemical formulas. What we do, we introduce how we come up with chemical formulas. And the topic seemed to be hard, but the way I introduced it, the way I delivered it to the learners, they found it very interesting. So there were several ways that I used. The first one, I used that one of problem solving. With the problem solving, what I did, I gave them samples of problems. That is, I would give them elements, and then we come up with valences. After coming up with the valences, we would come up with the chemical formula. And I also introduced the questions and answers. What methods do you use to grade or evaluate your student progress? I use percentages. The next one that I can apply, and I use it, I use the grading system. And with the grading system, as pertaining to sciences, because I teach sciences, we have got a grading system. This grading system ranges from A up to E. As pertaining to evaluation, we use the formative. Personally, I use the formative method. The next one, I at times use the summative method. This is where I issue a complex, a long paper towards the end of the year. If you are to use technology in your teaching, describe how you would use it. Specifically, discuss your experience using a smart board and ways that you incorporate it into your lesson. And to be very sincere, the best part is that I have read so much about it, I have researched so much about the smart boards, but I have never used them. So theoretically, I am very rich with the information pertaining to smart board. But as pertaining to practical, I have never used them. If you have students who are noisy or non-attentive, share with us 2 ways you get them to be quiet and concentrate. The first strategy that I have used, I always sit down with my learners. We formulate rules and regulations, and we tag the consequences of each and every rule. The second one that I use, and I have used it severally, I have used the parents. You may find that at times, though you have the rules and the regulations, though you are warning the learners, they are going beyond. And they are also continuing making a lot of noise and being very inattentive. So what I do, I will engage the parent. Describe the most difficult problem you have had to deal with as a teacher, and how did you solve this problem? Mainly, I used to teach a content, and I try to use the simplest way to make the learners get the content. But I always used to be disappointed, to be shocked, to be surprised, to realize that the content which I thought is very easy, and I taught it in a very easy way, there is no learner who has grasped it. And therefore, I get so disappointed. In this scenario, I have to look for ways of trying to cope up with the problem. And how I have tried to cope up with the problem, I always create remedial time. Give one example to show that you are a flexible person and that you can make changes to your teaching and methods if that is necessary. About the flexibility, to be very sincere, I am one kind of a teacher who is very, very flexible. Why do I say that? I am flexible because I normally run a class of 35 learners and above. I always operate from Form 1 to Form 4. There is no single class that I don't teach. And these classes, mainly, they hold 35 students and above. Now, out of the 35 students, you will find that most of them are having ranges of learning ability. They don't have the same learning abilities. The learning abilities are very different. Again, you will find that these learners come from different backgrounds. And to be very sincere, background affect the performance of a learner. And to cope with that, actually I can say, I have used all ways and means to accommodate each one of them. And I am this kind of a teacher who is able to survive with all of them, not only surviving with all of them, but impacting in a way that you can be able to tell that the teacher has coped up with all the abilities that are in that class through my performance, because you will realize that with my performance, it is almost the same, and I can be able to know which method to use for who, which strategy to use for who, depending with these abilities we are talking about, depending with the backgrounds we are talking about. Is there anything you would like to add about your qualifications that we may not be aware of? Of course, yes, there is one. I never attached a certificate that I have done the CPA, Certified Public Accounts. I did it in the year 2014, the year 2015. I did Unit 1, Unit 2, up to Unit 3, and it runs up to Unit 6. Somebody may ask, why were you doing them? And what I would say is that I was eyeing, or I've been looking forward to be promoted to be an administrator. And I found that if you are to become an administrator, you at least need some basics in accounts. So that is why I had to do it. And I'm also planning to continue doing it till the end, so that I can say I am an accountant by profession. Have you spoken to your family about going to the United States to teach? Is there anything, such as a family member, that might object to your leaving home? Are you aware that your family members may not join you here until approximately 4 to 6 weeks after your arrival? Absolutely yes. I have talked to them and I have informed them. And the best part is that they are very, very supportive. And all of them are looking forward to that day. I have also informed them that they'll have to lag behind before they can join me. And again, I would say they are also very, very supportive. Do you understand and accept that FACES is a 3-year program, and after 3 years, you must return to your home country? Do you agree to this? Yes, I have read, and I have seen, and I am concurring with what FACES has written. I do agree, and I am ready to adhere to what they have given as their instructions. Thank you for listening to my self-video, and I'm looking forward for a positive consideration. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.